Welcome to the Rainbow Room,
our podcast about writing, representation,
and gay stuff.
This is Season 3, Episode 29, Swiping America. Hey everyone, I'm Andrew.
My name is Eric.
And today we are here with special guest, Justin Speller.
Hello.
Hey.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, of course. Glad to be here. Glad to see you guys.
Yeah, this is cool. So Justin lives in Seattle. He was one of the first friends I made when I moved here to Seattle. And then by a twist of fate, he happened to become an extremely good option to be a guest for our podcast because he was just in the newly released Swiping America on HBO, which is what we'll be talking about today.
Yes, so random. But yeah, glad I did it and I'm here. So.
Oh my God, I have so many questions for you about that whole experience. You said it was a long time ago, right?
Yeah, like when I first moved to Seattle, I think we moved here around the same time, right? Around 20.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, 2021.
Okay.
In July. It was fresh from a breakup. We moved here, me and my ex-partner. Yeah. Me and my ex-partner moved here together, and then we broke up like 2 months later. So
no.
Yeah. So anyway, that's another story. I could be in New York with Eric, but I'm in Seattle. So
that's okay. A girl can dream.
What'd you say?
A girl can dream.
But fate, because now I'm talking to you right now. So
true. So true. Thank you.
And then honestly, I went on like a whole eat, pray, love journey. I went to Mexico, Florida, like Atlanta, Chicago over like a couple months. No drinking, no sex for a little bit, and then went to New York for Christmas. Went to Dumbo House actually, and then took a picture in front of the Christmas tree at Dumbo House. Hashtagged a couple of things. Then Max or HBO slid my DMs.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it's honestly how it just happened. Random, so random.
People
believe me.
And you think it's because of the picture, the photograph?
100% because of like all the hashtags I use, like gay, single, Chicago, Seattle, and they slid my DMs, and I thought it was fake. Honestly, I thought it was fake, but it was not fake.
Yeah.
Wait, what made you keep going if you thought it was fake?
Because first it was a comment. You can actually see it in my Instagram. So first it was a comment from a producer named Blake, and then then they slid my DMs, and I was like, is this like a kind of like a phishing scheme or something? She's like, no, this is 100% real. He's my credentials. Like, I want to have a meeting with you. And they were like, I looked them up, real person, real company. And that was it. Honestly, I was like, okay, I'm a pretty easy, trustworthy person. So I trust easily.
Yeah.
That was it, honestly.
Okay. Wow. and now you're sort of here sitting on this couch in Seattle. Chatting with us.
Yes. Yeah, and that is a couple years later.
So basically, we are on the same level of producerism as Max. So what does that say about us?
Yes. No, like I mean, I love Andrew, and I'm great to meet you, Eric. So when this kind of came up, the opportunity to talk about it, this is the first time I'm actually talking about it.
Oh, cool!
So,
interview exclusive hashtag.
Okay, cool.
But yeah. I trusted Max for sure. Like because I would never do like a reality TV show and have it be like trashy or anything like that, like a lot of other shows. For sure.
It's such a positive. Like, I don't want to jump ahead too much, but it's such a positive vibe. Like, okay, before we jump ahead too much,
yes,
we have a question we like to ask all our guests as part of our ongoing mission to paint an authentic tapestry of queer people's experiences.
Wow.
We ask all our guests. Justin, what's the gayest thing you did this week?
It's a Wednesday, so there's still time.
In the past 7 days, right? And we try and keep the podcast PG-13. Okay. We can go first.
Yeah, you guys go first. So I have an example.
I have a really good one for this, and I think I was actually kind of alluded to this person in our last recording, which is wild because I talked about how there was someone in high school who like. Everyone like he kind of was clearly gay, but like wasn't officially out. And then I was not out in high school. And so since recording and posting that last episode, he reached out to me out of the blue and he's like, hey, I'm going to be in Seattle. Do you want to meet up? We can have a gay old time. Because like we've seen that he's trying to come out.
A gay old time.
What does that mean? Okay. so I was like, yeah, I'm free Sunday morning or like Sunday during the day. And so I looked up a brunch spot and we went to Unicorn and they had this drag brunch.
Oh yeah.
What's it called? Not cabaret, but
look at the show. A drag brunch show.
There's a show for it. But so we met up and we just talked for a while. It was cool. He was there with his cousin and we kind of had this denouement moment where I was like, here's like all the tea from 2008 or whatever it was. Yeah, because he graduated 2008 and that was while I was still in Illinois.
It's like a borough or something. You know,
no, he's not. We met during choir.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, he's like very queer, comfortable in his own skin.
Okay.
He did opera in college. Oh, wow. He had his nails painted black.
Okay, fun.
And so he was like, here's who I was out to. He's like also I was on speech and debate and I did like only queer pieces. Like it was not a heavily hidden secret at all. And we talked about coming out. His family took it well, which is great. And then I was like, here's who I had a crush on in the theater program, you know, stuff like that. So it was so funny because I was like, I haven't talked about these people in years.
Yeah.
And we never got to be out and talk about this. And we got to like have that moment. And then the drag brunch itself was so much fun. The queens were actually singing. There was some comedy. And then they did this 35-minute musical of Sister Act. Like they did the Sister Act musical in 35 minutes, all in drag with like drag queens and drag kings, and it was so funny. Oh, I highly recommend it. It was great.
It's like every Wednesday or every Sunday or every whatever.
Yeah, I think it's every Sunday until they stop. Eventually, they'll stop doing this run, and then their next musical is.
I just want to do Sister Act. I just want to get that. I love that movie. So.
Oh, Sister Act's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so funny, like the chase scene where like the robbers are going after the nuns or the gangsters are going after the nuns was so well done and so funny.
Sister Act 1 or 2?
Sister Act 1.
Okay. Sister Act 2 is the best, as I want to say.
Really? Yeah. Hot take.
I mean, I don't know if it's a hot take. We can poll the audience or something, but like Sister Act 2, I think is number 1 in my book. Sister Act 1, I kind of forget about it.
Okay, I'll have to watch Sister Act 2.
So yeah. I think Eric, you're up.
So the gayest thing I've done this week, now I've been kind of a gym rat this entire week. And
she's a gym rat now.
I've been such a gym rat this week. Like going to the gym, it is summer, so I'm like, I have to dress as skimpy as possible. So of course I'm wearing crop tops to the gym. Going there, lifting weights with my nails painted, and then sort of drinking protein shakes afterwards. That's going to be adding to the tapestry of being gay. That's what's been my gayest thing I've done this week.
That's cool.
I love that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun to just. Yeah, it's fun to let loose at the gym in that way. It's nice.
I just imagine you like opening the door to the gym being like, girls.
Yeah. And then it's like I'll be like giving like a good workout, like lifting, doing really good. And then I'll be like in sort of like the stretch room, sort of just laying on my back, texting on my phone because I don't want to do anything else.
I feel you, honestly. I get so tired.
So yeah, it's like diversity in that way.
That's cool. Okay, so now I've had a time to think. But I think the gayest thing I've done this week. Well, I'm a big Celine Dion fan. That's the hill I'll die on. She's my diva, right? Everyone has a diva. Some like Mariah Carey, others like Whitney Houston. I would say Celine Dion is my diva. So I think the gayest thing I've done this week is Monday was like a pretty long day. So honestly, I like to like cook dinner a lot. And so I put on like Celine Dion, like her greatest hits, like 2 hours. And I just like went through the whole kind of I guess concert. And yeah, had a gay old time singing. And I know pretty much every single dance step, every single lyric, everything. So yeah, Celine Dion, that's probably the gayest thing I've done this week.
I did not know this about you. I didn't realize you were such a Celine Dion fan.
A lot of people don't know that about me. They just think I play sports and that's it. But yeah, Celine Dion is she's my queen. I'll die on the hill for her.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love you like in the kitchen.
I'm like, yeah. And 100% will always like, that's Whitney Houston. But I drove all night was my jam.
Okay, so back to the questions about like filming this. So they reached out to you, they meet with you, and you get a good vibe.
A lot of tests, yeah, a lot of interviews and tests.
What do you mean tests?
Like psychological tests.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like if you think about it, you guys are public figures, right? On social media and stuff. You know, you can get like hate mail and like hate like Twitter comments, things like that. So they would make sure that you were like I was mentally tough or sane enough to be able to endure that, and that I had like a circle of like friends and family that if someone was like, "Oh, you're the worst person ever," or whatever, that I wouldn't, you know, try to harm myself. So yeah, that was one, like two of those, a couple of medical exams, and yeah, that was it. And then like a couple of like stuff out, like interviews out where it's like a date, you know. Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. Just for context, like the closest thing I've done to what you've done, and I talk about this on the podcast too much, but been in these cut videos.
Oh yeah,
where they don't do any of that. They just
really?
like push you out, and they're like,
really?
if you don't like the comments, don't look at them.
Really?
Yeah.
I always wondered like how those cut videos were. I love those, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't do any psychological tests. Like, hope you're good. Like,
yeah, they really took that's why I trusted them, because like they really took a really like I don't know, calm and human-centered approach to like casting and everything. It was very thoughtful.
I mean, I do have to ask, isn't the whole premise that they're supposed to be swiping?
The producer swipe.
Oh, do you think they found you at all through your dating profile?
No, so like the producers, it was Instagram. The producers they look on Instagram, and obviously I hashtag like single, gay, Seattle, Chicago, New York.
Catch me hashtagging that every single post from now on.
Every single thing.
Hashtag my Christmas picture in Instagram if you want. And yeah, that's literally how it happened. And then the whole profile thing, the producers did that. Like they stack us all up and then they swipe for it. They swipe based on who they think will be a good match for them.
Oh,
so they pulled a lot of dates. Yeah, the producers, they looked at who's, you know, gay and single for me and for Kris, right, in Seattle. Then they said they like liked my kind of vibe based on my pictures, because my pictures are for friends or I'm active or whatever. And then yeah, they kind of like put us like the eligible bachelors in kind of like a group digitally, and then they kind of just said,
wow. That's so fascinating.
Yeah, it was weird, but it was cool. It was really cool.
Let's talk about the kind of context of when this came out, because that's what we like to do for all the media. And so this just came out when? 2 months ago, even?
This came out in June. Yeah.
In June, yeah. And we're in July. Wow. So this just came out. We actually just talked about with the Queer Ultimatum how what's interesting is with reality TV shows that sometimes ends up being how we get our best queer representation, and I think that's one of the reasons that Drag Race is so big. And then a lot of, I would say, queer representation in reality TV. We've talked about Are You the One? We've talked about what else, Eric?
Have we talked about I Kissed a Boy? Did we talk about that?
No, I've never heard of that.
It's like this new like British sort of like bachelor show. It's like Gay Bachelor, but on BBC. We should watch it, honestly. But what else? Queer Ultimatum. Are You the One? We haven't talked about a whole lot of reality TV.
Yeah, but well, it is interesting because like even though there have been like queer people in reality TV, there hasn't been a ton of dating. We've named Are You the One and for gay men, that's like, and then this British one. But yeah,
we should definitely do this British one because it's like just came out and it's pretty popular.
Oh, cool. Okay, add it to the list. Anyway, I also feel like even outside of gay media, just like looking at reality TV in general, you know, some of it's more game show related, but a lot of it ends up being like very like drama related, like trying to get like the most dramatic or like even embarrassing like moments caught on camera.
Yep.
And you know, this one is pitched as a rom-com documentary, right?
Rom-com docuseries.
Like rom-com docuseries. So it is a different approach than just something that's blatantly like reality TV, which is interesting.
Yeah, like, and again, like that's why I did that, and that's because before I would never do a reality TV show, even though I did get voted in high school. I just found this out. I looked at my yearbook. I got voted most likely to be on a reality TV show. I did. Yeah. Me and my old yearbook editor laughed about that.
Oh my God. Yeah,
What is
that's
that?
so
What is that
funny.
even? What's that? What's your interpretation of that? Like, what do you think people are saying about you?
Because in high school, I love to talk. I mean now I have adult diagnosed ADHD, so we're good. But back in the day, non-medicated, I was like motor mouth, a minute, running to each little different click because I was friends with everybody in our class. 175 is easy to do that, and so I was bouncing around, always talking. Hey, what's up? So much energy, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're so animated. You talk so much." And like, Justin, Jesus, what don't you do? And I think that's what it was, honestly.
Okay, interesting.
Well, let's go watch your high school's predictions come true as we see you in this reality TV show. And let's watch the show! At this point, we watch Swiping America, episode 7. For this episode, 4 singles, Keeson, Reagan, Ash, and Kris, travel to Seattle. They have been dating single people from dating apps chosen by the producers in cities all around the United States, and soon must select their top date to bring to their final destination, Hawaii. Kris is nervous because he has not found someone to bring to Hawaii yet. He goes on date zeros with a couple men in Seattle, including Justin. Kris and Justin laugh together on their date and go on a second and third date. Kris has other dates, including a date with a cute single doctor, and the episode ends with Kris reflecting on the dates he's been on and thinking about who he will bring to Hawaii. And we're back! Oh my God, that was so cool! It was so cool seeing you on screen.
It was weird, honestly. Like, it never gets not weird. I watched it maybe, I think, twice. I've watched it twice.
Only twice?
Yeah, only twice. Because
I would have
like,
watched it.
I've been so, honestly, work has been kind of crazy. Just like my road dog. And just like hanging out with friends, honestly. This is the first summer like we like hang out with friends.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
That's cool. So you mentioned that like there was, after it came out, there was like a bunch of tweets and reactions and stuff like that.
A couple, yeah, like, well, my friends, which I love, my friends like watched it. A lot of my friends watched it, like childhood friends watched it, and like posted it on Instagram and stuff. And then there's a couple of like tweets that came out about just like Kris and like whether we're still together and just about the show.
Are you? Or have y'all talked since?
Yeah, we do talk a lot actually.
Really?
Yeah, we talk.
Oh shoot, you're still talking.
Yeah, we talk. Actually, I talked to a good bit of the cast, I can say, like here and there. So it's been really good. You know, obviously their relationships are like bonded forever. Like,
Oh yeah, they get so close to it.
yes, like it's been like months of growing together. But yeah, so it's talked to Kris a lot, and then Reagan and Keeson and all that stuff.
And he lives in New York, right?
Yeah, he lives in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I was watching this and I was like, so they started out, and if they meet someone in another city, it's like this is gonna be, if they go anywhere, this is gonna be a long distance relationship.
Yeah, or you can like move. I guess you can like talk about it. If you like really serious, you can like move to New York, or you can talk about a central location to move to. But yeah, you know, I was Seattle and last states or city, excuse me, and yeah, that's I didn't move. I'm still here. I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. We talk a lot every day, but I'm still here.
Really? I got it almost every day. Whoa.
Yeah,
Why
like
so tight?
you like social media because it's just like it's a weird thing to go through with someone and like only me and him like know everything, right? So like that's funny.
And now we would like to know. Yeah, what was it like? Being, well, walk us from the top, like your first moment on screen.
So you already know, like I told you, like how this happened. I selected, but I didn't see a picture of him until maybe I think it was like 2 hours before. Like I saw him in person.
Oh my god, all
Yeah.
this prep to meet someone that you could have just been totally not into at all.
Yeah. Like I was like, I'm so nervous. But let me show you guys that the producers did a really good job of like being like, hey, this like, what kind of guy? Like, what do you want for your life? What do you want for the future? And that was all before the show. So like they match. That's how they match this stuff. It's like Match.com on steroids. And so I wasn't worried about it. I was like, okay, I'm newly single, right? Like got a toxic relationship, and yeah, let's just have fun. Let's have fun with it. So I wasn't really worried about it. And then I saw the picture, and I was like, oh, it's a fuckboy. I thought he was fuckboy. I swear, because the picture he gave me was like from here, and he's like on the way. Apparently, he was on the way to the audition or to like casting or something. That's what he told me later. But I was like, oh no, God! Like that's my friends. Like this went from up here and up, backwards cap, tank top, and he looked hot. Like, but I was like, oh no, this is fuckboy.
Which is so funny because like when you watch him on this show, he does not get fuckboy energy at all.
And that's the thing. When I first walked in, first time seeing it, lights are so bright. And here is this like sweet man with his glasses on. I was like, oh shit. Like, let me just like sit down, get my 2 little tequila. And yeah, we started talking. Day zero.
Hmm.
It was less at first second. It was day zero was 20 minutes, by the way, which I did not know. Because we talked and I love having fun. I love laughing. I think it's funny. Like I just like having a time. So again, taking it as it is, I'm just an experience. I just went to this guy, and he seemed a little reserved, but because I was like, I would date number 50 at this point, I don't even know. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be myself. And so I was asking him questions, laughing, even saw some clips of it. And yeah, I just really wanted to know who he was. It was just so easy to talk to him. But I can also talk to him at home too. So like I was very cognizant of that. You know, like I was yeah, he was good. He was really easy to talk to.
He was really raving about you after date zero. He was like, Justin, Justin, Justin. I had so much fun with that. And I was like,
and I was listening, guys, like after what like until I didn't get any clips or anything until seeing the show for the first time. I saw the show for the first time with my best friends at my house at a little watch party. And that was it. Like, so all the gush, all the like stuff he said on me, 5'8" beefy nugget. It was really flattering. It was so sweet. I've never been described as that. And I feel like he really did encapsulate like a lot of my qualities, both externally and internally. Like I just love having fun, love laughing. And yeah, like life is too short to be so stressed. And I feel like he was like carrying around a lot of stress in his job in tech. And we have, tech job as well. But yeah, I honestly think just me being myself, not putting on like I wasn't putting on her cameras. There's cameras all around me, right? There's big boom mics and lights and everything.
Yeah, were you nervous about saying something that was gonna get you in trouble?
Oh my god, yeah. Because I'm very direct. Like an ADHD makes you have executive dysfunction. So I say things that's on my mind without it going to like a grader. And so there was times, honestly, like it was fluid. But there were times when I would say like who I exactly work for. Can't say. So I'm gonna get sued by my employer. And like other things that were probably like too personal, probably for the first date zero. But he was like, oh no, it's fine. Like, either they can edit it out or like that made him also
I did like that. It did look like the editors were working to make everyone to bring out the best in everyone. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying, because reality TV shows aren't always like that. Sometimes they really try and like twist things. How would you say the edit was in terms of like presenting everything authentically?
honestly, I can say that I think the editors encapsulated everyone pretty well.
That's
Like
awesome.
meeting Keeson, Ryan, Keeson, Reagan, and Ryan, and even Kris, like everyone throughout the show was so authentic. And even though I got to know them for a couple weeks, yeah, I think like how they are on TV is how they are in person in real life. Like the laugh, Keeson's laugh, Reagan's like wit and quick humor. I was like, Jesus Christ, that girl's so smart. That woman is so smart. And Kris, like how he's like very thoughtful and so intelligent. That's who they are. That's who they are. And Ash too, excuse me, Ash too. Like she is how she is. Like she's bougie and like, but she's such a hard worker. And I think that really came through. And she's so thoughtful as well. Came through with that. So they did a good job. That's awesome.
That's so awesome. I love that.
Yeah, no, I had a good time. They were so comfortable for doing a reality TV show. So I've never done one before. Done commercials for a couple things, but not a whole thing.
Yeah, that is wild to just jump into that like that.
New opportunities, embrace unexpected. I'm all about embracing unexpected.
Okay, so from a viewer's perspective, y'all go on this date. It's clearly fun. He says a lot of really nice things about you, but you do wonder, is he just being a nice person? Because then he goes on another date in the same episode with a really attractive guy who's a doctor, and I'm like, oh, this guy's competing against us, and oh no.
So the edit actually did. So I actually, by the way, did not know how he felt about me at all. Like,
oh
I
wow,
left date 0, and then I was like, okay, like it was a cool day, 20 minutes. I don't know about 20 minutes, right? I just left work.
Oh yeah, 20 minutes is super short.
It was super short, and then to have it all. The way you see, probably like you didn't notice this. I knocked on the table when I left because it was so abrupt. Because he has a phone on his like the table that like kind of went off or not, but like he's like, oh, 20 minutes is up, like I go, and I was like, oh, okay, like next kind of vibe. Remember MTV Next?
It was very much like,
and so I was like, oh, bye.
Oh, MTV Next, that is another gay TV reality show.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention.
Room Raiders, MTV Next. You should definitely.
Does Room Raiders have good people? Okay.
Really good. At least with the RV. But yeah, I felt it was like abrupt, and I was like, oh, okay, that was not warm. And I get up, and then I'm going out, like I do like a knock, I give him a hug, because I'm like, it was so abrupt. And then I leave the room, and then the producer is like, oh no, he really liked you. And I was like, what? I didn't know. And then we like trade numbers. Then we start texting.
Oh, okay.
I just see the text. They didn't show our text. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't know why they didn't show our text, which is really interesting. So I was scared about that. I was like, we talked about a lot of stuff, but yeah, they didn't show our text.
That's really interesting, especially because that probably influenced the way y'all's relationship developed. Like it was an important piece that I didn't know that y'all text.
No, we went on dates that are on camera either.
Really?
Yeah. So like because because think about it, like you're meeting a guy or anybody like on like cameras going around. It's not really warm and fuzzy. It's like, hi, how are you? Right?
Yeah.
You know, I was like myself, but still I was like, I don't really know you. So they were like, we're gonna put you guys on a date. So we went to like Cold Bar.
Did y'all go on a date without cameras?
Yeah, went on dates without cameras.
Oh, that's so nice.
Okay, that's cool.
We dropped them off at 1 a.m. and then we went on a date. I think the place.
These producers are so cool.
Yeah.
Like this is so. It really feels like they gave y'all a positive edit. They set this up in a positive thing, and then they like let you have space together. That's really really nice.
Yeah. So we got to like really know each other. That's why. And when you see it, like one article, he's like, "What's your favorite city?" It was Seattle because like we had a great time. We had a really good time.
Yeah, he said that he laughed with you more than anyone else he had seen that
we had a great time. We had a great time.
He's cute too. He's really cute.
Really hot. Yeah. I was like, thank God. You know, he's in the eyes. But he's so smart too. I love intelligence. So
yeah, he's really thoughtful.
Yeah, I was like, I can't like match a 5'8" when they comment. But I was like, I don't know, he's like I don't know what to say. Like, he's like, what's this, a brontosaurus? But like a sexy brontosaurus. Oh yeah. Like data scientist. He's hot. You're a data scientist.
I am.
Oh, there you go. Data scientist. Hey, here's number. Just kidding. My man.
Bye guys. Fly to New York. Don't ask why.
That was day 0.
Yeah, and so for me, it was so cool because they like leave it open ended. You don't know who he's gonna pick to go to Hawaii, and so you don't know. And so then I'm like, well, I'll watch the next episode. I had no idea you were in the finale. I had zero idea. I thought you were just in episode 7.
Yeah, I tried to keep it because my friends like, which ones do we watch the whole season or short scans, or we watch your episode? And I'm like, just try to watch the whole season, but like watch Seattle and maybe try to watch the finale to get the whole kind of picture. Because I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. But yeah, like I'm surprised too because you see us sitting down for dinner, like we got to know each other, talk laughing. I talked about Cartier because he wants to, talk about open relationships and marriage. That's what he's a ring. And then from then, like we kissed at like after that a couple times. And I was like,
After the 20-minute date?
no, after so date 0 was a 20-minute date, and then we went on a date off camera next day, I think. Yeah, next day. And then we were texting the whole time and all that stuff, went to work. And then we had another day on camera, which was the sit down. Like we had like fries and stuff in front of us, like food. Like we're on a couch.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait, where was date 0? I'm trying to remember.
Date 0 was at is the same, but it was Hotel Monaco, which is a great bar. And then date.
Do you recommend it as a date spot for our Seattle listeners?
I don't know because it was like it was 20 minutes. Yeah, it was 20 minutes. I didn't really see much. Bright lights. I don't know. Try it out. The cocktails were great. So,
but that couch place was cute for the second date on camera.
Yeah, that was which I scouted again. That was
you scouted it? You picked it? Wait, did you pick both?
No, I picked the second one.
I just thought producers picked it all.
One of their sites fell through, and they're like, "Do you have a house?" And I was like, "No, I'm 31 and in Seattle. I'm poor." And then I was like, "Hey, I'll make calls." And then I remember meeting somebody from the Collective, Seattle, which is like a Soho house, kind of like come down. Sorry, the Collective, but like it's like a private club. And so I called them, talked to them within 20 minutes. We had a spot for free.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, just for because they were in the episode.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
So we had dinner there, and we talked a lot. So we again laughing the whole time, so fun. And then after that, kissed. It was a long, like, couple hours. Actually, we were there like 5 or 6 hours. We kissed, and then I had a flight to catch at 7:30.
Yeah, you say that in the episode. You're like, sorry, I
was like, I don't go back to your house. I gotta go. I have to go.
Where are you flying?
Boston.
For work?
Yeah, for work. Yeah, for actual work. And then Boston went to fly.
Oh, it was that quick of a turnaround.
Yeah, because I didn't know, like, so, yeah, the scene you see when he's like, oh, Justin's young yet, that was the next day when I was in Boston.
Okay.
And then we talked about, like, I didn't know anything about Hawaii. And then, luckily, he was like, oh, like, well.
Oh, they didn't tell you Hawaii was a possibility.
Not really, no. Because some people in the earlier episode were like, oh, like, you. I was like, I didn't even know anything about Hawaii. Like I want to see you again, sure. And then producers and they were like, oh, like, well, yeah, you want to see you again, and you'll see him again, yes, be from Hawaii. And I was like, I'm in Boston. Like I'm not planning to go to Hawaii. Like I need clothes. Like so. Then I went to Hawaii after that for my date, my marriage date.
That's so funny.
Yeah, first time.
I like watching it as a viewer. I was like, I almost got emotional when like you showed up because they're like, "Oh, let's see who you pick."
Yeah.
And then you show up. I'm like, "Oh my god! It's
yeah." No,
I knew he was picking you up for Travis. I like between those two dates. I was like, it's no competition. Like it just there was just you guys had so much more chemistry than him and Travis, in my personal opinion.
I saw the day too, and it's so funny. I was watching by myself, like I need to like take it all in. And I don't even know Travis. Starting this episode, talk to Travis, but I was like really, I was like, oh my god, I was even jealous as on a date bowling, and then it's like a year and a half later, and I was like, fuck. But like, yeah, we had a lot more chemistry. Like I would never bowl to like get to a score.
Oh, it is so funny. Yeah, you're like, let's bowl to get to a score, and they fail so miserably.
Do you see that, Eric?
The what?
The bowling to get to a score.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I remember that one. I'm not sure.
This is Travis' date with his bowling, and Yeah, they were like, instead of like, do you want to be competitive or do you want to bowl together to get 2-1 score? And I was watching my friends and I was like, I don't remember. Would you do that?
I thought it was a cute idea.
It was cute, but I'm like,
I love cooperative games.
very much
Oh,
hard. You know,
Oh my god.
I was like, we can come back to this stuff. And he's
no, there's competition. You make that a competition.
yes, he's competitive too. So I was like, oh no. But yeah, it was. After seeing the episode, I was like, okay, like, the doctor was hot, like hot doctor for sure. But like the lab, like we had a lot of chemistry.
And you didn't know about Hawaii at all.
No, like
That's so
so
interesting.
like because my whole thing, like being honest with you, my whole philosophy and all going to this was I couldn't find my husband, right? And, like I'm gonna go into this and also I was like launching a video game. I work in video games. So I was like launching a video game at this time and I was so stressed out. And I was like, this is the least of my worries. Like I'm not about to worry about any of this. I'm gonna get to know this guy, but at the same time, I'm exhausted. I actually have to pack. It's like 11 or 12 a.m. at this point. And I was exhausted. So yeah, I didn't really know about Hawaii, but I was like, I'm in Boston. So I have to come back to Seattle and then go to Hawaii, which I did. Yeah, which is we talked about that on I don't know if you he posted the other day about it actually, because I was like, happy Monday to everyone except Kris, because he got me a freaking like milk cake or something. I was like, I'm lactose intolerant. I mean, I told you that the first day.
Oh, no. Oh my god, he got you coconut cream or something.
Yeah, it was like which no shame to the Hawaiians. It's a Hawaiian like traditional fruit cake or something like that, and it has like milk in it or something. And I hate cake. First of all, I hate cake, and I can't produce milk. I can't process milk. So yeah, I was like, "Where's my cookie?" I said, "I love cookies," and he was like, "I flew you out to paradise. That wasn't enough." And I was like, "Okay, touche." But I took a poll, and the cookies apparently they won over the flight, so I was right.
Oh,
so we haven't having a fight over Instagram.
He should have gotten you.
Okay, so you guys, you say you're still talking. You were just saying you kind of still talk every day. Is that like, is it friend vibe? Is it if we are in the same city, like let's go off, girl? Like what's going on?
I think I think this experience like brought us like really close because I said like earlier, you know, only we know what happened with everything. And you guys only saw like, I guess maybe max 15 minutes altogether, or 20 minutes of those. So I think that bonded us together. And yeah, I travel a lot just because I love traveling. And I have not booked, I need to go to New York very soon to like, just, I love musicals and everything, but also to see him. So yeah, maybe if we were in the same city, things would pop off, because I know like the kids thing the episode is like the kids thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say they kind of show you just enough where it's like, honestly, if it wasn't going to end in a romantic relationship, what an amazing way for it to end. It's like they kind of show like, all right, these guys are getting along super well, everything's going great, but they have this major hurdle, which is that you were like
staunch on kids.
Yeah, very clearly like I want kids, and it was very clearly like I didn't.
And he does not like he doesn't want them, by the way, but like it's more complicated for him.
You would have to like be convinced.
Yeah, it's just like a complication thing. And so, but yeah, like you never know. But like you said, we're in different cities, which is so hard. Like 3,000 miles away from New York, legit. You never know, but I'll be in New York, for sure. I'll visit him and also go do musicals and just hang out, honestly. But yeah, we're like, I would say, good friends right now, for sure.
That's sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, the finale it's interesting because the finale ends and they're showing some of these other couples kissing or being like, oh my god, this person means the world to me. And I think they're very tasteful in how they handle you and him, because they did give us a sense that it maybe wasn't going to be that level of we love each other. Like, but they concentrate on the fun, and it looks so fun. Like the last shot we see of you is like you have his arm around him, he's laughing, you're laughing, and it looks so fun. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I was just because I didn't realize he was, well, they say like struggling through the whole thing, like just connecting with people and things like that, right? And he talks about his like ED or whatever through the episode, which I did not know. We didn't talk about that. So I didn't know that until watching it. But the thing is, I think he caught on to it. I just wanted to have fun. Like, this is a weird experience. I'm gonna meet a cool bunch of people. We're in Hawaii. We're in Hawaii. Let's have some fun. We're going kayaking. It's my birthday, literally my birthday.
Yeah.
And he was so sweet, like with the cake idea. But yeah, we just had a really good time. And I think he said it himself. That's what he learned. Like every relationship doesn't have to be so romantic or just friends. There can be like a kind of a third layer there where it's like, okay, like find you really attractive, find me really attractive. I'm attracted to you internally as well.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah, like I have some things that I want that you don't want. But we're in this really beautiful place, paradise. Let's have some fun. And who knows what will happen.
Did you know at the time the kids thing was going to be significant? Do you think? I guess my question is, did the episode make it look more significant than it was in real life, or did it seem less significant than it actually was, and you realized that later?
I think the episode made it a lot more kind of dramatic than it was.
Okay.
They're like, kids, bam. I was like, oh, okay.
Shot.
Like, so.
But the chemistry didn't change dramatically after the kids.
No, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. When they said it was like a mix of things. So I'm eating a poke bowl because I was starving. I literally just got the flight from like across the country. And I was so hungry, and he got me a poke bowl, sweet Kris. And yeah, we were like filming and talking about we were talking about everything. And then I held back the kids' question because it always comes up on first dates for me. It used to, at least.
Really?
It used to. Yeah, it used to. Because I date seriously. And I'm like, why waste my time if we're not aligned? But I held back this question because my friends were like, oh, just have fun. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I am a little tipsy at this point. I was drunk. And
I would never get drunk on camera. I'd be so terrified of what would come out of my mouth.
I'm pretty, I trust me, you're on camera. That the world is going to watch this. So you're like, I'm a little bit in there. But I was exhausted from working. And I was like, you know what? Do you want kids? Because it kind of came up a little bit. He's like, no. And I was like, I was like, okay. Yeah, exactly. We were like, that was the kid there. I was like, lips out, head tilt. Okay. And up, head
interesting.
Tilt. Yeah, interesting. Got it. Awesome. I'm in my life. And he's like, really? And then we talked a little. We talked a little more. We talked a little bit more. Literally legit that I was like, my eyes got squinty. You didn't really see that much, but it was like, oh, okay. Okay. How do we keep going?
Like if this is Drag Race, there would have been like some percussion, like a zoom in, some symbol,
But yeah, that was. So I think it was a little more dramatizing. I mean, it was like I didn't listen a dramatic response, but because I'm pretty animated. But yeah, I was kind of drunk and hungry and tired. So I was just like, oh God, okay. It's my birthday is tomorrow or day. I don't even know what it was. Yeah, tomorrow. The next day was my birthday. So I was like, you know what? Okay. Okay, Kris. Okay. Let's get in the hot tub. After let's get lit.
Hey.
They didn't show that.
They didn't show the hot tub. I love a good hot tub moment.
Yeah, but getting in a hot tub drunk is not the fun. It's like
is that what they didn't show it? You were a mess.
No, they left. They left. I think they left. The cameras left at that point.
Okay.
So it was we didn't have a Keith and Orion moment. We when it's on camera. We were done at that point filming for the day. So we got in the hot tub and we had champagne. It was really sweet. Chocolates and stuff. That was off camera. No one saw that. So
that's so cute. Or cracking jokes the whole time, which is really cool.
He's great. He opened up for sure.
You're like, how much could I pay if I paid you $1 million to run this?
When we were going dress. I think it was the Jurassic Park environment we're in. I think it's the actual scene of Jurassic Park, by the way.
Really?
I think so. I think there's a rumor fact, but I think they put us in the Jurassic Park kind of environment. That's where they filmed it.
So that's why you're all talking about dinosaurs.
Yeah, and literally that's what we're talking about. I talked to my dad about this actually, and my friends, and they were like, where the fuck did you get that question? and
The dinosaur
question. And I think it was because we were in the Jurassic Park set kind of vibe. But honestly, we were like talking for hours, like literally like 8 hours of just like talking. So imagine that. And you just run out of things to talk about sometimes, right? Like, so I was like, you know what? This is a random question that I just am curious about. And Velociraptor is my choice, obviously.
That's a great choice. Yeah.
I have little arms. They're kind of short.
Oh.
And they're relentless and like hunting and getting what I want. He's a Montosaurus plant. Calm, peaceful.
Yeah, that's a good combo of people, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%. That's why we had a great time.
Yeah.
It's like he's like I think he's taller than me a little bit. And I'm a short little raptor coming through. So random. But yeah. I was jealous of the other dates though. The other dates, like the Keeson and Ryan and like Reagan, they went on yachts and horseback riding and fucking ATV. I went fucking kayaking. No, I loved it. Thank you, Max, for that.
They put you to work, and
but I literally had to work. I was working the whole time. They were like horseback riding and fucking yachting with champagne. So I was a little jealous when I watched it. Like, damn, I got a short in the sick.
That couple did give yacht vibes, though. Like
it did. She did. Reagan deserves a yacht. That's Reagan. Love you, girl. But yeah, Reagan deserves a yacht always. She's the queen. And then Ash horseback riding, and then Ryan and Keegan did like the whole ATV kind of vibe.
Oh yeah,
or whatever it was.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I got kayaking. We were supposed to go snorkeling, I think, but I think I can swim. I don't know if Kris can. Or something happened. We were supposed to do like a cooler date.
Oh,
it was cool. Thanks again, Max. It was cool, but it was I would have chosen horseback riding. I love horses, so yeah. It's fine.
I wanted to ask, is there like anything that you've been like dying to tell people about?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything where it's like, oh, this is something I really wish people knew about this process, or like this is a really cool thing I'm excited to talk about.
I mean, I don't answer this already, but like just that it was 100% real. Everything you see was real.
Yeah, well, you hear sometimes in reality TV that it almost gets directed, like, oh, can you say it this way or do it that way? But there wasn't any of that.
No. I mean, like you talk regularly as we're talking now, and then questions like producers may either stop you because they can't hear you in the mic, or like, can you say it one more time? What'd you say? Like, we didn't hear it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm like,
that's reasonable.
Oh, okay. Or they may ask a question. I will say, like, I think there was no questions asked until the end, like in Hawaii, being like, I think it was like, where do we go from here or something like that? We were talking naturally about that. And then we were done talking about it. But I think one producers asked another question to get us to talk more about that.
Oh, no.
So we talked actually at length about that a couple times. And then, yes, that's kind of how that happened. But yeah, everything else, definitely off the cuff.
That's really cool.
100% off the cuff. So I was like, some of the stuff, I was scared of being canceled. I was like, I'm gonna be canceled because I don't remember what I said. Like a year and a half later, they're like, you know?
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking, like watching yourself, right? And like, how did it come?
Exactly, like cursing and like I'm like reaching for like tequila a lot during if you notice, I'm like, where's the cocktail? Or like shots, and he's like, I don't do shots. I'm like, oh, I always do shots. You know? So yeah, it was. I was like kind of blown away by how many times I asked for a cocktail
on camera.
Wait, he doesn't do shots?
He was like, I normally don't do shots. Just make my eyes water. And I was like, oh. I was actually ordered us another shot. Like,
I'll take yours, girl. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was like, give it to me because like it was so like it was a lot. Just a lot. I was hungry, so like I was like, let's just get the shot. This food because I was scared of eating food on camera because I like to eat, right? Like but imagine eating food that's like fries, salmon, I think we had like risotto, all there, but I'm scared of it getting my teeth in my mouth. So yeah,
that makes you a
great candidate for a show like this. If you're like concerned about your image and knowledgeable about what's gonna look good on camera,
I'm
like
oof.
Mm.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I can't eat. I'm so hungry. But
you do look great in the episode. Like they really like you look beautiful. Like
thank you.
Great job.
They did a good job. Honestly, they did a really good job like lighting everyone and like making sure we showed up our best selves. So again, I don't know what production company they hired, but
you said on Twitter people were talking about like they're like, oh, he's really well lit.
on Twitter, because you know, like a lot of other queer shows are like have a POC in them or just other like makeup stuff in them. Like they just the editors or the makeup people or whatever the people behind the camera don't do a good job of just like I don't call it equitable lighting, but like you know, take into account. So I was nervous because you know there's no wardrobe or anything. There's no makeup artist behind the camera. It's just whatever you look like. And yeah, I was feeling self-conscious, but it came out really well. I was really happy about it.
Yeah, with your little Y shorts.
God, I almost wore them today. I was like, oh nope, I can't wear my little waist. What is it? Y or waist shorts?
I don't know.
Yeah, sponsor us. But yeah, didn't wear those. WAI. Yeah.
Yeah. They're cute. You look really good.
Thank you.
And and just going back to the producer questions, I like how they like show the producer asking questions sometimes. It like really like it made it feel like it was very transparent. The whole show felt very transparent. And what I liked about it as opposed to like maybe The Bachelor or some of the other reality TV shows, sometimes it feels like they really try to force the moment or the emotion or like over dramatize things. But I feel like because of the way they ran this and because they let it be what it was and they didn't try to make stuff that wasn't.
Yeah.
I really believed everything. Everything felt very authentic and understandable and real and so wholesome. I think they also like just cast positive people and did what they could to really build a positive environment and take care of the people, and that really shines through. Man, I'm like already going into my final thoughts here by accident. That's like my big thing is like it's such a comforting watch. It's like, and it made me want to fall in love. I'm like, oh
yeah, no, honestly, but watching the show, I was like, wow, the warm and fuzzies were there, seeing everyone's stories because again, I just met these people like a couple weeks ago, seeing everyone's like stories and how everyone is flourishing and has grown so much from the initial meeting. I think they met in like New York, like for like a little bit, but yeah, they didn't really know each other. But as they get, through the States, they really have bonded. So their story flourished, and I met the other suitors, I would call them, the other guys I was with, and Jess, the woman who's dating Ash. I met her, and we had that bonding moment too, and it was really cool.
Do you know the status of the other couples?
I do.
Are you allowed to talk about them?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Jess and Ash are together. Yeah, they're together, and the other two couples you can watch, and I mean you can like look them up also on Instagram, I believe. And I think they give I think there's like pictures of who they're with now. So yes, you can look on their Instagram. But I believe Jess and Ash are actually together, I believe. But yeah, follow their Instagrams, you'll see.
That's okay.
Or Twitter. What is one thing like you guys think like happened that like I can answer? Like I don't know, because again, reality TV shows are weird.
Yeah.
So you think they're scripted. This one wasn't for sure. I don't know. Is there anything that you think?
For me, what I was most curious about was where I thought it was like, is this real? Was that your guy, like going into Seattle, he like had no one for Hawaii. I was like, is that true? Like I felt like they showed towards after going into like the finale episode, they showed that they all like collectively all four of them went on like 150 something dates. And so I was like, does he really like before Seattle, did he like not have anyone like that he wasn't even considering? I was so intrigued about that, and that didn't seem real to me because I was like, he must have gone on so many.
He went on so many dates, but like I think they touch on actually a lot toward the end. He was struggling, like connecting with someone. Like he also was working this whole time. Like he worked at a big tech company as well. So Keeson was not working. Reagan was not working. Ash owns a company, and so he's the only one like working actually like 9 to 5. So like that's a thing, and also like he's a data scientist.
I didn't realize he was working while they were filming.
Yeah, he was working on his laptop. Like that's his laptop.
That means I could do this. I mean, I don't have to quit my job to be on the show.
I don't know if he worked for a reduced schedule or something, but like he was working. So he was like he knew stress. He knew my plight too. I was stressed out. So he was struggling a lot, like connecting with guys, and then the ED situation, which I didn't know about. And also the guys that he was going on dates with, I remember meeting them now. He just wasn't connecting with, wasn't having that, he was taking it too seriously or something. Then he found me, and I was just like, listen, I'm just gonna have some fun. Like literally, like came out. He said guns blazing, but that's just me. That's how I like to date. Honestly, I love to date. I love to ask questions. I'm not like too serious. I'm serious at work. I'm serious a little bit, but I'm so goofy. And I think I kind of like let him just relax, And he's like, oh shit, maybe I could just have some fun. Like, who knows? Maybe we fall in love and get married. Maybe not. I don't really care about that point. Let's just get to know each other. If we match, cool. Not cool.
Let's take some shots.
Really, I'll take shots. Literally, that was it. He's like, what? And I was like, shot. We'll take a shot. Cheers. Great meeting you.
I love that.
The fun. Yeah, he didn't have anybody until Seattle.
Do you have any word of if they're going to do any sort of follow-up episodes or anything like that?
I know people are asking for it on Twitter, which I've seen.
Oh, that is something I wanted to ask about. What has the social media been like for you? Like, what have people been saying? What have you been receiving? Have you had people giving you hate mail that you're glad you're stable enough to withstand?
I know. I'm like, what? I know. I was so scared about that. My best friend was surrounding me. Yeah. So social media, what has it been like since the show? Honestly, it's been really positive overall. Like, so I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and I've only checked like Twitter and Instagram. I will say I got verified. That was cool.
Hey,
I'm honestly being with Kris. I think I just got like a lot of positive, like his headwinds. Like he didn't have any headwinds. I got like a draft. I got his positive draft. So like, yeah, like people see us banter on Instagram and stuff, and like that's just our relationship, And so I've gotten a couple like followers and stuff. I'm not an influencer or anything like that, but I've got a couple of followers. DMs are fine, like not like blowing up, not like it's just like a couple of guys hit me up or whatever to hang out and stuff. But I think overall it's been positive. And I've seen one article about me and him, like, are we still together or still separate? Are we?
That's so trippy to read an article about your dating life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My friend sent it to me. Like, he's like, are you read this? Had no idea. So all in all, I haven't seen any negative things about me, or I've seen some stuff about him, but that's just, people being mean. Yeah, people being mean. So yeah, for me personally, it's been really good.
Yeah, and it seems like overall the show's been well received, right?
Yeah, really well received because again, authentic, real, queer love and straight love as well, heterosexual love, and just relationships, and nothing ever has to end in sex. I love that.
Yeah,
just getting to know each other for what it is at this time in the moment we have together.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Well, let's go into final thoughts. Eric, do you want to start?
My final thoughts on this show. Warm, positive, so sweet. Girly time. Fun, authentic. No, I was really I think the structure of it all the whole time I was like, when I was watching, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the core 4 are like girlies and a gay. I was like, okay, like we all feel safe here. We all feel awesome here. Like creating such a warm vibe, and it's just so nice to hear like firsthand how authentic that experience is and like what they conveyed is true. Like that's just like that. If anything, reality TV that is fun to watch. Like that is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, cool. No one else give their final thoughts.
I was like, oh, Andrew, I don't even follow that one.
No, I'll just echo that. I think Eric speaks to something really important about the show in that there is such a focus on the way that these 4 people were lifting each other up. And then I love that you were able to be such a positive influence and still are in Kris's time on the show and in his life in general, watching you two together. I thought it was a really, really nice example of queer romance that we don't always get to see. And it is a real type of queer romance that exists. Like there are queer men that date like that, with this really, as you said, fun, not having to just be so objective oriented, and just wholesome and nice. And I thought that was really, really great representation.
And that was new, and that was newish for me too, by the way. The whole objective fun thing. Like, yes, I like having fun, but yeah, like before I was like, do you want kids in the first date, right? That can be kind of off-putting or too serious. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change it up.
So you grew too in this.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh, that's so cool.
I did. And so, yeah, like, thank you so much. But it was a really cool experience. And now I do date differently. Honestly, I do date a lot differently after reading Velvet Rage. And, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, we haven't done Velvet Rage yet.
Velvet Rage, read Velvet Rage, everyone. And also, yeah, dating Kris.
Oh.
Yeah, he's so sweet. My Brontosaurus. Love you, Kris. My Brontosaurus.
Well, now that I'm crying, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, that's it.
Cool.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for sharing your final thoughts with us, and thank you, listeners, so much for listening to us. Justin, you've been amazing. You've been an amazing guest. I really appreciate you letting us have your first exclusive interview after the show.
Of course.
You're great on the show and you're good on this podcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Eric, if you were here, I'll give you a hug too. So air hug. You're
Eric, you're muted.
I loved in the finale that shot where it was like everyone going in for the hug. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Those shots were them walking into the camera to give a hug, and it was like simulating y'all reuniting. That made me laugh. I thought that was funny.
I had a cocktail in hand, like, whoa. Go spill the drink. Literally. I think Reagan's like, Justin, they're sand in it. I'm like, that's not gonna stop me from drinking this cocktail. Tequila always, baby. But yes, so it was good. A lot of dancing.
All right. Thank you so much, listeners. Until next time. Bye. That's all for this week. If you like the podcast, the best way you can support us is by recommending us to others. You can also subscribe to us and rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube by searching Rainbow Room Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Rainbow Room Podcast and Twitter at Rainbow_Room_. Thanks for listening. See you next week.